What's going on, BROHANS? Welcome to week 3. We have made it through 2 weeks. I am so proud of you guys. You have worked so hard. You have pushed so far. And now we're on the 3rd week of this program. You guys are amazing, and I hope that you've already started to see improvements in the games that you play simply by working on your aim and really focusing on what reaction time means to you. So this week we're going to talk about teamwork and attitude. I have a lot to say on it. I'm going to try my best to streamline it because I could talk for literal hours about how important your teamwork and your attitude is. All right, so let's start with that. How important is teamwork? Teamwork is so very important that a team that cannot hit their shots and cannot react well enough can still win time and time again as long as they work on the same page. All right, I talked a little bit in the reaction time video about the Halo 2 days. I cannot tell you how crazy it was to see a Halo 2 team they were just my friends. I worked with them to get a solid teamwork base going. All right, I picked one person whose whole job was to throw grenades. Seriously, their whole job was to throw grenades. I picked one person to stay with me and on my booty at all times. Their job was cover fire. I picked one person to stay with the grenadier, and their job was to just protect the grenadier because he was pretty good with his shots. He was to protect the grenadier and call out anybody he saw on the map. All right, I won almost every match with that team because we were on the same page, because we had teamwork, because the grenades were flying all over the place. This dude was so grenade happy. Like, the guy who was controlling the grenadier would say, yo, there's a dude on your 9 o'clock, and he would just start throwing grenades in that area. And as soon as I heard that, and I heard the grenades, because my 9 o'clock was different from his 9 o'clock, right? So as soon as I started hearing the grenades get like lobbed that way, I would immediately change course. I would tell my guy who was there to do cover fire, I would tell him to stay where he was and shoot cover fire in that direction. I would go in and wipe those people. It was wild, and it was because we were on the same page. It was because teamwork made it happen. And these people, a lot of them, except for the one, they were really bad with their shots. I would watch them whiff all the time. They weren't well organized individually, but by putting them together in a team, giving them the right information, telling them to give me the proper information, and giving them sole responsibility of a certain job, we won our matches. So teamwork is super important. And if you have friends that you like to play with, you guys can't just go into a match without having a game plan. Okay, you guys have to have an idea. You need to know the call outs of the map. You need to have map awareness. You need to know when people are going to spawn and where. In Call of Duty specifically, map awareness is one of the most important things. You can rotate a team, an enemy team, over and over again on that map. Okay, it's so easy to crowd control on that map. It's so easy, or in that game. That's what I used to do in Black Ops 2, and that's how I got Master Division 1, which is the highest that you could get in the game. Outside of the game, there's pro seasons, but whatever. So teamwork, information, and being on the same page are super important. All right, you need to know all the information that there is. You need to go in with a game plan. You can't just go into a game and expect everything to work out. All right, you need to make that plan. You need to constantly talk to your team. You need to feed them information. If they say clear comms, you need to clear the comms. Don't be talking about your favorite brand of ice cream that you got from your local grocery store. Don't be talking about the the grilled cheese sandwich that you had yesterday. You're in a match with your team and you want to win. You need to be focused and clear. Okay, that's a lot of what teamwork is. So what my suggestion is how important team is. It is more important than anything else that we're going to talk about. Teamwork and decision making are the two most important things, and we'll talk about that next week. Teamwork comes first, decision making comes second, because if your team is clumped up together and you make a bad decision, but the bad decision is only in front of one person, your team can focus at one person and get them killed. All right, decision making is just barely below teamwork, but I believe that teamwork is the highest tier possible. Now, let's talk about attitude. All right, and I'm sorry to call you, but I gotta tell you, the amount of rage that comes out of playing an FPS game is unreal to the point of madness. Why do you possibly think that screaming at your team is going to fix anything. Now, let me say that I am not talking to everybody here. It might be none of you in this course, but you've all experienced time and time again somebody, whether it's you, a friend, or someone else, being angry. Okay, or better yet, here's the rage that I like. You guys die, right? You wipe and you're about to do a new round. You hear that, right? Or you hear this. All right, guys, let's focus up. Let's get everything together. That's it. And you don't hear anything else. And it's all that attitude that you just gave. All right, you gave an attitude. You think you didn't give an attitude. You're frustrated, and you are showing it in your words, okay, in the way that you're speaking. All right, I got to tell you, when I played Paladins, and a lot of you who have watched my stream since then, or you know, I've seen the clips that are on YouTube. I've been in a lot of fail and hype clips on YouTube for Paladins. I was never like that. At least I tried not to be. And my biggest thing was attitude and teamwork, was taking the person who was angry and flipping them around so that they actually performed well. Because once you're angry, you're no longer thinking about anything. All right, you need to keep your mind clear, and you need to keep focused. If you get angry, if you get frustrated, if you get upset, if you say something, right? Like, this is another thing. I had quit Overwatch for a long time, and I ended up trying to go back to it about 1.5 years ago, and I immediately got onto a top 500 contenders team. It was really cool, and it was really refreshing to be able to do something like that. But I ended up leaving. Well, they ended up letting me go, but I was going to leave anyway. And here's the reason why. I had whiffed a Zarya ult, and I felt bad about it, right? I already, as soon as it came out, I knew that it was the wrong decision. One of the guys on my team was like, why would you even decide to ult there? Are you serious, bro? Are you serious right now? Are you kidding me? Why would you ult there? Why would you ult there? And then after he said that, there was a solid 45 seconds of silence. How do you think that made me feel? You think I wanted to perform after that? You think my head was in the right space to actually do what the team needed me to do? No, I was hurt. I was frustrated. I was embarrassed. And that affected the rest of the game. We lost that scrim. If he had said, yo, man, bad Zarya ult, let's get him next time. Let's button up. We got this. I would have felt so much better. I would have been like, yeah, man, I know. Let's fucking do it. Let's get this. We got it. If he had improved my self-esteem at that moment, if he had motivated me to push forward in that moment, we would have won that scrim. But instead, he decided to audibly, in the middle of a scrim, which is very unprofessional, voice his opinion on what I did in a negative way. And that hurt. And it made me underperform. And it actually lost me my team. Although, again, I was going to leave anyway. After that, I didn't want to be on that kind of team. But you see what I'm saying? By him simply saying a couple of words, I was messed up in the head for that match. I didn't want to perform anymore. You guys have to think about how you talk to your team and what your audible cues, how they affect your team. If you're playing with randoms, right? You need to understand that saying, how can I help you win, will probably get you a win over, hey man, can you stop fucking up right now? Can you just fucking do what we want you to do? You get what I'm saying? So I want you guys to really internalize that and think about how you talking the way that you do, if you do this, or how a random talking to you or a random talking to another person, how that affects you or that person, and how that actually loses your games. Positivity wins games. Motivation wins games. All right. Why do you think that NFL players have a hype obsession before they go out on the field? Why do you think that after a losing halftime, the team can then go and kick butt after halftime, after a motivational speech? That all comes from motivation. That all comes from the hype speech. That all comes from people really pushing. All right. That meme, yo, they had us in the first quarter, not gonna lie, or they had us in the first half, not gonna lie. That's because that team was getting wrecked in NFL, and then they hyped themselves up. They pushed it and they rocked the second half. All right. So your attitude is 90% of the battle. Okay. Their attitude is 90% of the battle. Sorry. And you guys need to think about how you can motivate your team to win. All right. Telling them, are we going to win this match? Are we going to kick ass? Right. That's a good way to get them hyped up. And if they say no, be like, oh, come on, bro. Listen, I'll do whatever you need me to do. How about you lead? All right. I'll do what you need to do to win this match. How's that sound? I used to do that all the time in Paladins. And honestly, I have like a 70% win rate in that game, I think 65 or 70% win rate, which is pretty high. And the reason why I have that is because quite simply, I motivate my team in any sort of way that I can. What do you need me to do to win this match with you? Okay. What am I as a Slayer in Overwatch, right? As a DPS in Overwatch, where do you need me positioned? What do you want me to do? Can you feed me the information that I need? And then I'll do whatever you need me to do. I'll listen to you, even if it's a bad decision, I'll make it happen. That goes miles with people. All right. Miles more than you could ever think of. So when you're on a team and you're thinking about these things and you're trying to push yourself and you're really upset because you're losing, you need to ask the team, what am I doing wrong? And what can I do to improve for you guys? Where do you need me? What do you need me to do? Because it might not be you. All right. It might be them. But by getting them on a page where they feel in control and they feel like they're doing well, it's going to hype them up. It's going to make them feel better. And you're going to improve. I promise it works. It sounds weird. It's a little bit of a reverse psychology in an awkward way, but it works. So that's how you can help improve your team. Now, teamwork with your friends is going to be much different because they're your friends and you can really push them a little bit harder. So when you're playing a game like Call of Duty or Counter-Strike, map awareness is everything. It really is everything. Your aim is important. Your reaction time is important. But your teamwork and decision making are going to be what really excel you in those games. So when you're playing those games, you need to work on your map awareness. You need to look up online and see what kind of maps are available for what kind of pictures are available for the maps that you play. If you watch, I think it's Energy Lulu. I think it's Lulu. I can't remember, but it's one of the pros for Apex. They have a lot of diagrams that they put up on their screen for like Rainbow Six and stuff to talk about how you can move and like Valorant, how like positioning is supposed to be and stuff like that. So you want to look up those things on Google and you guys want to make a game plan. All right. In Call of Duty, all right, we're going to drop here. We're going to move to the right as a team. The two Slayers are going to move up ahead. The objective runner is going to stay 20 feet behind. And the support player, the point man, which I was, is going to go off to the right in the building over here. This way, if anybody comes through, we have the point man here, we have a surprise attack, and the two Slayers are front loading so that the objective player can get forward. That's a team play. And that's something that you can do with your friends. You can't really do that a whole lot with randoms because randoms won't listen and they're not conditioned to listen to you. They don't really care so much. And while they want to win, trying to drop a complex play on them is hard. But with your friends, you guys can run the play over and over and over again until it's perfected. And that's going to really help you out with these kinds of, differences between working with your friends and working with randoms. So your friends, the other thing is your friends are a little bit easier to talk to. So I still recommend that you don't say anything about poor plays from yourself or them while in a match. But after the match, you guys can sit down together and you can say, hey, can you tell me 2 things I did right and 1 thing I did wrong? I'd really like to improve. And I just want to know where my strengths and weaknesses are. Your friends will tell you, and they'll probably tell you in a nice way, or as nice as they can get. Sometimes they're but that also opens the floor for you to speak about your concerns. All right. It's the compliment sandwich, right? 2 compliments, 1 negative. That's the best way that I've found to work with a team, especially a team of friends. You want to tell them what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong in a constructive way so that they can improve. If you tell them, yo, you freaking whiffed all of your shots, how does that improve them? You just made them feel bad. How did you make them feel better? All right. But if you're like, hey, man, I really liked your positioning. You were in the perfect spot, right? You really kicked butt, but your aim was just a little off. Have you thought about plugging controller into a PC and running aim lab? You know what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? And, you know, if we're not using a controller, have you thought about running the aim lab program? You guys can use whatever I teach you to help your friends improve as well. All right, this isn't like a hush hush, you know, all-inclusive class. They can't do it. Although I would love for you guys to bring your friends over here and be part of this class as well. But, you know, aim lab is an amazing tool for aim and reaction time. And, you know, if they're having issues with that, you can give them this tool. Okay, it's free. But, you know, if their decision making is bad, if their teamwork is bad, and we'll talk about decision making next week, you could be like, hey man, listen, I really needed you in this spot. I told you to get to that spot. You ran off on your own. Is there any way that you could just please, you know, as the shot caller of the team, do what I ask you? All right. And if they're like, no, be like, well, I am the shot caller. Would you prefer to be the shot caller? I don't want to do it anyway. But if you want to be the shot caller, go ahead. And if they still say no, be like, well, listen, bro, we're going to win. You've got to listen to the shot calls. If you don't listen to the shot calls, we're not going to win. Pick one. You know, and you can do that in a constructive way, right? You really need to condition your friends to listen to you and not just do whatever they want, because that's what we always want to do, right? We just want to run in there and kill everything. It doesn't work that way. All right. And that's where teamwork comes into play. And it's the same thing with randoms. You can motivate your team. You can push them to be the best. You really can. And with randoms and controlling your rage, controlling their rage, it's all about how you handle the negatives. All right. The positives are always going to get hype. The negatives are always going to get negativity unless you change that into a hype. So my suggestion this week is to really work on your rage control, if you have it, and work on your teammates' rage control. You have a random, just tell them, hey man, I know you're pissed off. I can hear it. What can I do to be better for you? Where do you want me? Do you want me on your ass? I'll be on your ass this whole time. Let's go. Let's go. I will not branch off from you, period. I won't try to pick anybody unless you're fighting. I won't try to attack unless you're attacking. All right. I won't stop and stare at a wall. All right. Or out into the distance trying to see if anybody's around. I will just be on your ass this whole time. Let's win this. I guarantee you that random is not only going to lessen their rage, all right, because now they feel like they're actually getting somewhere, but they're going to appreciate you flipping that switch. But unfortunately, you can only control you. You can't control them. So you have to flip the switch. They're not going to do it. So if you're stubborn and you're like, hey, can you just fucking stay on my ass? The guy's going to tell you no. That girl's going to tell you no. That person, they're going to tell you no. But if you give the compromise and say, I'll be the one on your ass, you make the decisions, they're almost always appreciative. And 9 times out of 10, not only will that change their attitude, but they might actually respect you for it. So that's how you motivate, that's how you lead, and that's how you control rage. That's a little bit about how you improve teamwork and friends. So that's where we're going to end this week. But I hope the information that I've given you guys has helped you and really is going to get you guys to look at things in a different perspective and break down what it means to actually have a team and work with teamwork. All right. I love you guys. I'll catch you in the Discord. Peace out.